Hello, this is Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. And I am Trudy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Our very, very special guest is Jose Luis Morales, a business management coach. How are you?
I'm great.
Jose?
I'm great, Trudy.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
So,
really
so
appreciate
we just recently did a management workshop with Jose over at a local business, and can you tell us what you were highlighting on the workshop?
What we were highlighting over there, I think the most important things, and just reflecting over the presentation too, is the importance, and I feel, the need right now for small businesses to do the next level as a leader. Mm-hmm. The importance to become a leader and not just a boss. Because what I'm trying to create right now is just to people, right, especially leaders, owners who have different point of view of businesses and life, to help communities, to help create communities that are more safe. And my biggest takeout from there was that we are not growing as a person, as a leaders, to be able to pick up the ones that are entering into our businesses. And what I was referring to over there is restaurants, because restaurant has a big turnover of employees, a lot.
Big turnover.
Yes, and what I mentioned over there is that 60% of them, they leave because of their bosses.
So they're not quitting their jobs; they're quitting their management or bosses.
Yep.
And recently, over the last couple of years, there's always a lot of articles and programs teaching job seekers to hone up and get advice about soft skills. What you were teaching us is that the employers, the managers, they need to be very good at their soft skills as well.
Yes, so I've been doing some research, and there are a lot of other people who are teaching business owners about leadership strategies, how to make your team more effective, how to get the best results of your business. I'm going to teach you the strategies. To me, my main focus is to focus on humans. Because as simple as you know, people know how to lose weight. They know how to lose weight. Eat less, do 30, 40 minutes of exercise, drink some water, they say they will lose weight. The question is why they don't do it. It's the same thing with businesses. You can have the right strategy, but if you don't have the psychology, the human touch, where you're gonna actually care for your employees, it's gonna be hard for you to create the change in your company. Now, from Simon Sink, that there's another person that we were talking about it, right? That everything starts with why. Everything starts with why. Why? Because if you know why you started your business at the beginning, yes, many of us, we started because at some point of money, right? But then we get stuck in we wanted to do our next move, but it has to do with your why.
WHY.
Yep. Why did you open the business? Why you want to move to your next level? And for that, you need to be able to change how you see your employees, to change how you see yourself as being the owner or the manager of the company. And that's so interesting because just yesterday, I'm helping somebody right now with his business. And he went to buy some used furniture from another store that they just closed. They didn't close because of the employees, they closed because of they couldn't resign the lease. but she said that she's not wanting to open another store again because she worked for many years, 24 hours. That's what we many say, right? I need to be there 24 hours to get the job done. I was like, maybe you don't have to. Maybe you don't. And she's like, no, nobody else is gonna do the job how I do it. I need to be in the store to be able to know that they're getting the job done. Here is the little problem. And she did mention though that she had a great team. I didn't want to keep asking more questions about her. To her, I'm sorry. But people can trust the kids to babysitters for days, sometimes even for weeks. If they have something really important, they will leave the kids with babysitters because they trust the babysitters. So how come business owners cannot trust the leaders to take care of the business? What is the signal that we are sending to our employees that they are not good enough to leave you alone? And when we send those signals to employees that they are not good enough, we as an employees, we start creating a mental negativity, ideas about our employees, because if they cannot trust me, why he cannot trust me? So how can you create trust in your employees? And most of this, it has to do right now with what I believe, right? That we are missing is have some human compassion to each other.
So you used an example of an employee that comes late or is a no-show to work. Mm-hmm. And then you ask them why. You ask them why were you, instead of just firing them for not showing up, you actually had the conversation with them because you didn't understand the situation fully, and you knew that eventually you would.
So this is the thing, right? If you are gonna go for a dinner with somebody that you love, that you actually really care for it, you get to the restaurant, you're waiting for 10 minutes because you were early, the time was for your friend to be there, he doesn't show up. Another 15 minutes, doesn't show up. Mm-hmm. Many people start asking why. Why is the person is not here? Mm-hmm. Why? We start getting angry. Mm-hmm. We start creating ideas. 30 minutes, we are irritated. We calling to them, what happened? Why you leave me here? Why you didn't show up? A better question would be, hey, I'm worried about you. Are you okay? Is everything okay at home? Just to make sure that let's worry about the person first. And don't worry if the person is lying or whatever, because yes, we're concerned about it, and you're gonna find out. But let's worry first, because obviously if he's not showing up, something is wrong. Or right, they don't want to see you. And I'm talking to the leader, I'm talking to the manager, I'm talking to the boss. As somebody says, that when she goes and drops her 2 weeks notice, I'm leaving from here, I'm done. And her boss asks her, is everything okay? Why are you leaving? Are you okay? Yes, I am okay. But you made me sick.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
not
yes.
okay.
Yeah, so are we asking ourselves, is us maybe who we are causing them to not show up to work? How are we treating them?
And so what about the example of somebody who is leveling up their career? Why they left?
Is somebody that is loving what they do?
And just going to the next step, like finding a better job, and instead of not liking that job, but time to move up and get a better job.
So I went to this big company to work, and something that opened up my eyes to the new world is because when we were doing the interview, filling out the paperwork ready to start the job, she asked us, who put their work first? And we all like, me, right? Because we wanted to show up to or employers that we are committed to our job. And then she was like, no, 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 you guys are wrong. We're like, what? Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. For most of you, this job is not the most important thing. You guys have a life to live, you have a passion to follow, you have a things to do, you have another things to do. And yes, many of the employees, we might not stay in the job for the rest of our life. We don't. But either if you are a good leader, if you are a great leader, and you help the person to become who they want to become, if they want to follow the passion, or maybe because of you, they are able to open the eyes and see something different in the environment, in that kind of job. Maybe the person can find a new passion. Maybe they can stay longer with you. Mm-hmm. Or they can stay with you while they do the transaction until they become who they want to be, while they go to school, while they do transition in the career or something. But they will appreciate to you what they're doing, and they easily will recommend you somebody else to come to work for you because they know that you actually care for them. Mm-hmm. And this is not just a sign that we are sending to our employees. It's the signal that we are sending to the whole community, and there's the environment that we are creating where people feel welcoming.
So you're in other words, create a supportive community.
Humans need a community. Mm-hmm. We all do. We all need a community. And most of us, we're trying to find in jobs because we all need to work. Mm-hmm. We all need to work. We need to find a community where I can fit. When I can count on someone, when somebody actually is going to care for me. And somehow I can be myself. And I'm going to be true with this. We live in these times of instant gratifications where employees and employers, but let's talk about employers. They think they don't have the time to give to their employees to adapt to their environment. Because each business is different culture.
So we're talking about corporate culture and notifications throughout the 24-hour period for work. Is that what we're talking about?
I'm telling you this because of I'm a father of 7 years old, right? And I've been knowing since for the last 6 months because I'm getting involved in leadership skills and personal development. I can be in the house 24/7, mm-hmm. But if my brain, I'm not present with my son, doesn't matter that I'm in the house and trying to teach something to my son because I'm in my head and I'm doing something else. What I'm trying to tell you this is like, it doesn't need to be 24/7. It's to be present with them 5-10 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. Actually be present with them and be willing to hear them. As simple as you walking into your business. Hey, how you doing, Bill?
Mm-hmm. Doing well, thank you.
Is everything okay at home? Is family okay?
Everything is okay.
Right. As simple as that, but be present. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to say something now, while we were talking on the class, we should be able to observe our stuff, mm-hmm. because my mouth can say, yes, I am okay, mm-hmm. but if your body language is not,
there is something wrong.
Yes.
But I told you everything was okay. So, what do you take from that?
So, if your body language is not showing that you're okay, they don't want to look at your eyes, mm-hmm. okay? Or they just like, yes, I'm okay, like the tonality is not there, mm-hmm. Find something to break the ice. Maybe get them to talk about something else so that we are willing to open up. Ask somebody else in your crew because somebody else has the answer to what the person is going through. If you find out from another person, the best friend, because most of us, we have a best friend in the crew and somebody else told you what's going on, and then you can sit down with him and take it more personal. Is there anything else that I can do to help you? I know you're going through this struggle and I'm sorry you're going through this. How can I help you better?
Oftentimes, when you have someone helping you, and so you're assigning them to do this, do that, but while you're doing that, you're saying that we should also be seeing what that person's goals are, and in what way we could also support that person's goals, so that while they're working with us, then we could work together better.
My biggest discovery was in my last job where I was a manager for 6 years. What you just mentioned, Trudy. How can I help you? Just that. How can I help you? Getting to know their goals. Getting to know their dreams. Do you want to pursue something rather than this job? Do you want it to move up in the company? You want to go learn something that maybe is going to help you improve your job if you actually love to work here. Getting to know them, then to set it up some kind of goals for them, simple goals where they feel that they keep growing. Because many of us, we started a job, a new position, right? For how long are you gonna feel excited? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And after 3 years, if the person doesn't keep growing, it's gonna start dying. It's going to. Now, if you give them or help, you don't give nothing. We don't give them nothing. Let me be clear on that. We don't give them nothing. All we need to do is ask them questions to figure out, to find out what is it that they want, what is it that they love, what is it that they care about, what is important for them. So
And
we can help them meet those goals.
Right, and there is a time for that. Even if you're busy, there is time to do that.
The job of a manager or a leader, okay, is not to do all the physical job. It is important to get our hands dirty when it's needed, because we need to lead as an example. But our job is to make sure your staff has everything that they need. Provide them the tools, the skills that they need to learn so they can do the better job. And to be present with them when they're getting stuck, because we are the coaches. We are the coaches that when they're getting stuck, we are the ones that we're going to be there next to them. And he's like, here, you know what? Maybe you can do this better. Maybe I can help you with this right now so you can move faster. That's our job. Not to do all the work for them, because they are the ones that need to learn how to become better. If we don't have the patience to teach them, for them to learn, we're gonna be in the mentality that, oh, I am the best, and the person cannot do the job, and that's why I need to be here. That is not our job. Our job is to encourage them, to give them the tools that they need so they can grow.
So you need to encourage the employees to be creative and to use the tools that you gave them so that they can do the job and feel fulfilled, and you don't have to be there 24/7 any longer.
Do you want to be 24/7 in your job?
Sometimes I feel like I am.
We don't.
So
Even though I love what I do now, and I would say I'm almost 24/7 a lot of the times, but now I'm going to the stage where I'm trying to prioritize what is actually really important for me. And goes the same thing for the leader. What is actually important for you, and that has to do with the values of your company. What are the values of your company? What is the culture of your company? because the rest of your crew are the image of who you are.
And when you set goals for the employees, you have to set, you have to find a balance, right? To set, have attainable goals, but there's still something a little more that they could strive for, so that they feel that they're growing.
The growing part. How are we challenge them? And the only thing that they're gonna feel challenged and fulfill also with what you mentioned is to make sure they're growing at least a little bit. So how it happens is by us trusting them, allowing them to make mistakes. There is no other way. There's no other way that your employees or you yourself are gonna grow if we don't allow the margin of error, knowing that is for something greater, for something better for them. And don't take me wrong. Don't take me wrong. When I'm talking about all these nice things that we need to do for our employees so we can have better business, so we can stop employees to nowhere. I'm not trying to say that we need to be all nice and sweet to our employees. I don't. What I need to mention to you, or what I want you to hear me, is that you gotta care so much for the people, for your employees, and for your business, because we all depend from the business. That you are willing to have those hard conversations with your staff and being able to tell them the truth when it's needed. When it's needed. Going with the mindset that you are gonna tell them, hey, you know what, I think you are making mistakes over here and you can do better. How can you do better? Not punishment. I don't believe in punishment. And what I told and how I worked my last job for 6 years, I have this strong belief. I give them my all. I try to support them as much as I could. It's on them. And yes, if they cannot get on board with you, with your mission, with your culture, and have you see each other to create a great team, they're gonna get off of the boat and they're gonna know that they don't belong to them. Because to me, the culture that business needs to have is a mindset of growing, creating a team, and I can rely on you that you got my back, and you can rely on me that I have you back. It's the only way to move forward.
Even the manager and the employer, they're learning too.
There is a constant learning, and I think we have been taught today's 25, maybe 30, right? We stop growing, right? I'm not talking about physical growing. I'm talking about mentally. Now we are believing that new generations are not good. The generation X, Y, we got all these new kids, young adults, that they don't know how to work. That they are struggling to find communities businesses where they can work. It's not them.
All right.
It's us. We are not adapting to this new environment. We need to keep learning and growing, especially for us, that we need to create something better, that we have ideas to create.
In other words, if we learn how we could grow, then we could learn better how we could help the employees to grow as well. Okay, Jose Luis Morales, thank you so much for joining us on Ken TV, Community Unity Now, the D-Tycoon Show. If our viewers want to learn more about you and how to be a better manager, a better employer, where should they go?
They can go to my Facebook, Jose Morales. And yes, right now I'm working with Hispanic people, but I'm doing my transaction into English. So you guys can send me any questions or any information, and I'm willing to help you if you guys have more questions about it. I can answer your questions directly.
Okay.
So if you see Spanish, don't freak out. It's me.
All right.
This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. I am Trudy Leong, Administrator. And thank you so much for joining us on Community to Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. See you again next week. Have a great week.